and there's almost over 100 million of them in America alone, and most of them are not online, which is really sad because the majority of them say technology brings a positive impact to their life, though 3/4 of them say that they need help when being introduced to new technology, and only 1/3 of them use social media. And for every 5 years you age past the age of 65, about 10% drop off from using new technology and the internet. So our challenge became, how do we get seniors online, and how do we get them involved in the online community?
So through our research and interviews and our Survey Monkey, we found that the main problems were that seniors found that websites were too cluttered. They didn't really trust the security. They didn't want to lose any of their passwords or accounts. They didn't really understand some of the features of websites, and legibility, readability, and just color contrast was an issue for them. So what we aimed to do with MyStory was to create something of a familiar design using skeuomorphism as a way to sort of show off an element in the website that they could relate to in person, with the book layout and the bookshelf. We also wanted to create something organized and not too overwhelming, which is why we tried to use colors sparingly and meaningfully. And we also wanted to clearly define the functionality, which is why we always tried to have meaningful text labels attached to our buttons as well as icons when they were necessary.
So this is our style guide. It's come a long way since the initial one we showed back in the first semester. As Seamus said, we use very simple, colors sparingly, and these colors were researched based off of opinions from the research we did, and also from online studies as well. Going with cool, calming colors to promote a sense of relaxation for our users. Also, we wanted to have big buttons that were easy and descriptive. And as Seamus said, with the skeuomorphic design, we wanted to go with the bookshelf, books, and other text layouts. Also with fonts too, we wanted to make sure that we found fonts that were clear and concise. Again, researched this, did user testing, and found that the cabin font was probably the best. It offered the most wide range of options, given how many styles there were inside that, and the users that we tested with found that it was very clear and easy to read as well.
So going off of all of that, we created our first prototype, MyStoryOnline.org.
And the prototype really guided the vision for our live site this term. It was the first time that we ever really got to show off the functionality of our website to users, and through testing with it, our users became familiar with the functionality and really started to see the vision as we had it. As you guys know, usability testing has been a huge thing for us throughout the whole project. It was really crucial to find a place that we could actually get into on a weekly basis and do testing. I know at the very beginning we went through like 20 different places before finally the Senior Center in South Philly took us in, and it was a lot of fun just going in, meeting with the seniors, having them go through different iterations of the site, give us feedback that we could then come back and implement in the site, and then just coming back on a weekly basis and just showing that off.
Yeah, it was definitely a good learning experience for all of us. There were, of course, successes and failures on our part, difficulties with getting senior citizens to understand what the prototype is and getting them to engage, but eventually we got really good success, and we were getting feedback to the point where, oh, this is something my grandson is telling me I should do, this is exactly the kind of thing I would use that I've been looking for, this is really great, this is really easy, which really just warmed our hearts.
Through some of the feedback as well, we were able to make some changes to the site that may have been different in the beginning from our original prototype.
So with that, we'll take you now to our live site, where we'll navigate around for you.
All right. So as you can see, this is the page that you're going to see when you're logged out. Again, very, very closely related to our. You can just help with that. No. Thanks, Seamus. Alright, I'm just gonna leave it like that so you guys can see it. So anyway, so this is the logged out page. So for instance, if I wanted to go through and create an account. So let me give you where is the resource. There we go. Alright. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy some stuff in here and so you guys can see what were we laughing at? Are we laughing at the story dedication?
No, Michael Scar.
Yes.
That was Phoebe's idea.
This was not.
Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and create an account right now, CWL Hensley. Just be easier just to type it. A lot faster that way. Alright. Yeah. Sorry guys, no sleep. Alright. Okay, gonna go ahead and register. And I'll save the password, why not?
As you can see, we have implemented.
Exactly.
a
I did
lot
that
of
on
form-
purpose, by the way.
We have implemented form validation actually throughout the whole site now. At this point, lots of security issues, like we know with the seniors, they were having real difficulties believing that their information was stolen. What is happening?
I don't know.
Use the Safari.
It's Safari. I'm just using Chrome.
Just click the button. Oh.
Here, can I just
No. I got it.
oh
All right.
yes.
Okay, this time just click the button.
I'm all right. I'm just gonna log in. We got this, guys. Just bear with me.
Just there. Yep.
Yeah.
Just register.
There you go. All right. So as you can see,
We're in.
exactly. There you go. As you can see, your bookshelf is empty. No books thus far. You haven't created one. You can see from our layout, we have done a little bit with the responsiveness of the site. You have your contacts pages. You have a sort feature. Public stories, as you can see, that works now because you haven't created a story yet. You see that all of your public stories that are available on MyStory are available to you. Once you've actually created stories, you'll be able to see your contact stories and also your personal stories on here. You can also sort stories by categories or themes, which we'll get into in a little bit. So let's say, for instance, I wanted to start a new story. Here is our themes. So let's say I want to do something with vacations. This is where a story goes. Sample.
It's gonna be dangerous.
Exactly. Trevor would be proud. Troy and Chelsea. Got your names right, so that's good, right? There we go. And I want to share it with my contacts only. Submit. And now you get a example of what the page looks like. And you can see from here your story. And now you can stop viewing now that it's saved. And as you can see now, it is on your bookshelf. It will show up here because it's part of a public story. You also have your contacts page, which I have no contacts because I'm new. But here are all the contacts listed on the entire site thus far, and you can search through and find people on here as well. You can send friend requests. You can also cancel friend requests. You can also log out. And maybe go ahead, I'm gonna log in from LD45.
Just scroll over that.
Scroll all the way down. Alright. Beavers? Beavers it is. Beavers doesn't have any stories. For shame. But her contact does. Like the chili recipe. Also public stories as well. And you should be able to sort through, see all the different types of stories and categories. And the same goes for her contacts page. So since she has more contacts than the other person did, you can actually see contacts on there as well. And you can also choose to Sorry, I don't mean to unfriend you, but I'm gonna unfriend you. So, and I'll just so we can talk myself as well. So, going through that process now, as you guys can see the site, and as you can see, I also have our contacts in the footer as well as a little blurb about the site and why we created it.
And yes, you can contact us if you have any issues.
Like being able to log in or create a registry profile.
So, in the future, we're definitely looking forward to. So in the future, we have definitely, if we were to take this project forward, there are definitely some things we would like to implement. Things like liking a story or leaving comments, having a draft functionality, or logging in with Facebook because some of our senior citizens actually do use Facebook. Also, a mobile-friendly site, not necessarily because people would want to type out a long story on their mobile device, but reading stories because about a third of seniors actually do have some sort of smartphone.
Yeah, and as far as making it responsive and mobile friendly, we did a lot of work with getting it responsive. There are still some bugs to be worked out, so that would be something that we would definitely want to make completely fluid. Obviously, you wouldn't create stories in a mobile environment because it'd be too long, so that where you'd be able to disable the create new story and only be able to use it as a viewer as well. And some of the more skeuomorphic design would kind of fall away